And welcome back, YouTube. This time around, of course, we're building a new gun. Now, I have decided that I want something in about 400 millimeters, so we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done some testing in advance, so I think we're gonna be ending with a gun that is about 380 or so. I think that's gonna be like an appropriate size. Now it does say that we need 4-meter shell racks, but no, we don't. If I correctly remember, we can scale this one down fairly decently with the inertial fuse and base bleeders. 2960. Yeah, that's it. Expected reload time from a click 28 seconds. Now if you want to fire every 2 seconds, if by 1, that would mean 14 of clips needed. That's a bit off. Well, I'm gonna see how well it's gonna turn out, and we're gonna go after with that one. Of course, you have to understand that this is pretty much just rudimentary build, and it's not gonna be the finalized version of the gun. 1, 2, 3, yeah. If you're using 3-meter shell racks, and advanced cannons, I'm just gonna build it like this. It's for now. And count increases, please. Yes, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Not connected. Okay, 236, 190, 248, 402, and now we're gonna queue. And here is desired shard gauge. I hated that we cannot put input 0 in here, but we can't, so that is quite annoying. I would really want that we could input 0 in, so that we could just type the gauge without it automatically changing the crap out of the gun. Now these are 380 millimeters. Yes, both. Please left and right splitter. As you may understand, this is more or less a test build. It's just going to be how many autoloaders we can actually need and stuff like that, as I'm actually quite skittish about that. Now, since we're using 3-meter shell racks, that means that 4 meters would be ideal what we need. So this up here and up here, this is what we would want to have reserved. One lower, I suppose. Yeah, I think this is gonna work just fine like that. 1, 2, 3. Because it's a double weapon system, I can just mirror it like this, and hopefully it's going to work. And autoloaders, 3-meter shells. 1, 2, 3, and on this side as well. Now I can't place autoloaders like this. I could, but then I would most likely. Well, yeah, I know I could as well. Yeah, it does have on the bottom as well. And actually, these could have 1 extra spacing downwards, so it's not exactly on par in size here. I'm better to say we could go slightly bit lower. 6-way connectors. For now, this should be just fine. I'm gonna just place 2 of them. 3-meter shells. 5 like that. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I just wanna see how well this will work with the shells that we're currently having. Ammo clip, solid clips, 3-meter ones. Of course. Do these have at the bottom as well? No, they do not. Oh yeah, no, they do. Or at least I think they do. Gonna have to turn those upside down most likely. And now ammo input feeders. Tup, tup. You are about how many ammo input feeders you need is pretty much twice the amount of autoloaders. As if you look here, you know, this is expected reload time from the clip, time to pass shell to the ammo clip. It's pretty much twice. So you pretty much need twice the amount of ammo input feeders as you need autoloaders. That's kind of a rule. Of course, we can build more than that, and it will not be that much of a problem. So yeah, in this case, for example, the amount of autoloaders, they're the central one, and the clips, each of them has 2 clips. So if I only attach ammo input feeders to the clips, it should already be enough of them to feed the gun in consistent enough basis so that the gun will not run out of ammo. Now, saying that, you still would want a couple of them extra, just in case. So yeah, 10 ammo input, 10 autoloaders. We already have 20 now ammo input feeders on it. Well, actually, yeah, 20. And I'll just force assign all of this, and this should now be working somewhat. We'll see. Let's put a mantlet on. 2-meter tall. I prefer the 2-meter tall mantlets over other types. 3-meter elevation pretty much means that the gun can fire up and down, and that usually does not end up well if it's on the ship, because the ship tries to shoot in its own hull, and well, yeah, these omni turrets, like 1-meter omni turrets and 3x3 meter omni turrets, are actually useful if the gun is static, but this is on a turret, so it can do its things better or worse. I would just rather avoid them, as they can fire downwards as well fairly well, so shooting into their own ship, not the best idea. I mean, some specialized build can have their usage of it, but 355, 388, 420, 450, 485. Yeah, you can see how big the gun is. 517, 531, we're still going up. Okay, this is pretty much the end of our top speed. As you can see, the gun is very long. And that just because of the ammo input feeders. Well, ammo input feeders, the gunpowder, there are 4 of them, so this is pretty much the length they need to burn through, and it's quite a lot longer than what it says in here. It's 16 meters? Really? How many of them we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? Really? Wow. Huh. But here it says 466, while this one is showing me 531. A bit odd. But, well, it's gonna work. And shell inaccuracy of 0.24, that's pretty decent, I suppose. How are you loaded? Total loading speed multiplier 0.73. Oh my god. Calculator. Time, yeah. 28 seconds approximately multiplied by 0.73 equals 20. 20.4. So actually 10 autoloaders will kind of work if you fire just a tad bit slower than 2 seconds, like 2.2 seconds. Then this should work. So, oh my god, no. Uh, uh, I hate it that you have to put it like this, but... Alright, the limit will therefore be now 2000, that's way too heavy. Let's say... no, 22, no, 27 rounds, and about that. It should work just fine, and because we are not building super overpowered weaponry here. 27. Okay, this now has unloaded, of course, because it doesn't have that. You see, as soon as there is only one rack loaded, 1.3, so 0.73. That's what we kind of need, because we only have 10 of them. Now we could place more, but I have odd suspicion that the collation will not be sufficient on this gun for now. Gun waiting. Yeah, as you can see, cooldown is of 10 seconds. 10.4 seconds actually. Oh, that's gonna be bad. So we're gonna have to put more collation. And well, this shouldn't be that much of an issue. There's 5 across here, and here is 7. So we could easily add. You're kind of looking like at a square, you know, lots of turrets. So here is 5 of them, but over here you have 7 blocks distance. So this turret cannot be smaller than about 9 blocks or so. Here is where we will be able to start building stuff next to the turret. So it's expanding it by 1 at the bottom will not hurt us at all, and that's why we cannot just simply do that. Building multiple gun systems, yeah, is often enough a bit more of a complex thing to do. Like that will work just fine. And gauge increase. Oh, no. Left and right splitter, please. And one here, and one on this side. As these guns are symmetrical, there is absolute no point of making it less symmetrical than it needs to. This neck is, yeah, it's pretty long, it's gonna be enough. Like that. Well, we're gonna see whether or not that's gonna be workable. It's up, 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 up. Connected to. And now the cooldown is at 1 second. So we have successfully dropped the cooldown. We wouldn't even need these back ones, I suppose, in the turret itself. So we could drop that a bit, so that the turret head will be a bit smaller. I'm gonna just remove these for. Yep. And let's see, 2 on 2 on 2. And that means that this one will have to be gauge increase, and that's gonna have to be a splitter. And that's gonna be gauge increase again. So 380. 380. Well, there is no shell loaded currently. Come on, load one. Well, they're loading slowly. Yeah, these things usually take their time to load up properly. But we kinda, I think we gotten that base off, I suppose. No shells loaded. And I'm already kinda happy with this gun. It's gonna perform just exactly what we wanted it to. I mean, having slightly lower reload than 2 seconds may not sound all that good, but I mean, comparative to the last gun we have used, which is 250 millimeters. No, 1.41. Yeah, 1.41 with 380 millimeters. I mean, the last guns that we have used, if you kinda remember, what's up, objects? This one? No, this one. This is 200 millimeters, and it fired a shell every second. This one is 380 millimeters, and it also fires a shell every second, just that from two different guns. So while the turret is, as you can see, quite a lot bigger already, maybe we can drop it by a block. Now, we most definitely can drop it by a block. I mean, just dropping this part down would already create that. So that's not really an issue there. But you can see that it's not that humongously bigger. It's gonna be bigger in the internal volume, as this turret is, as you cannot place three of them. I mean, three. You cannot place. Well, you could place this. Couch increase. No, couch increase. Ammo input feeders, yes. We could do it like this. This would not hinder the gun at all. Like that. So we would have some extra ammo input feeders, and we could actually drop this base here down a block, and it would reduce the size of the turret by one block. So it wouldn't be that much bigger. It's in tallness. It would be, however, it's, as I said, wider. I mean, while this is 2 by 1 by 2, that's 5. This one gonna be 9, as it's 3 on each side. So that's 7, but you know, cannot actually build 7. I think gonna be like that. If we check it out, it should rotate under these conditions. Hopefully. Yes, as you can see. So this interior will be actually 9 blocks wide in each direction. Not particularly good, but on the other hand, not that particularly bad either. And I think there is now 70 shells. Let's check out if our autoloaders are filled up. This one is, yeah, most of them seem to be. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this fires every second. These are 2 of them and fire every 2 seconds. So the rate of fire is pretty much the same, even though this gun is near twice the size of this one's. So that rate of fire is quite well maintained. And these guns are, of course, bigger. It's not exactly drop of speed, but it's increase in size and volume of the actual ship that this gun will be placed upon. Unfortunately, that's how it works. Bigger guns usually require a bit more extra spacing inside. Could actually even attach it at the bottom. It wouldn't be that much of a problem. But yeah, we could we could still drop this by a block, I suppose, in tallness. But the actual size of the width, that's where the problem is, and we're not gonna be able to do that one. Even though attaching it to the bottom, let's allow us to attach extra hydraulic absorbers on it. So why not give it a try? Yeah, as I said, testing stuff kind of important in the game. Do it gonna save you quite a lot of grief later on when you're actually attaching this stuff to our ship. You know, consider how much space you're gonna need, test the rotation, advanced cannons, gauge increase, left and right splitter, and gauge cooling units. And yet another splitter, another gauge cooling unit. So let's see how cool the gun is. Alright, 3.5. Ooh, that's bad. We need less than 2, I suppose. Let's see. Hydraulic recoil absorbers, 4-meter ones. It won't be able to attach here, and nor it will be able to attach like that. I mean, the neck of the gun, I think we should be able to attach it like that, yeah. Because this gun is somewhat of larger in size, having at least some amount of an adjustment to your recoil is a good thing. A very good thing, and in a lot of cases very welcomed things as well. And we could start mirroring this because it's symmetrical, or at least it's supposed to be. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is gonna be kind of the best choice. But we can also then remove one of these and put the left and right splitter here. No. I'm gonna consistently press the wrong buttons, won't I? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's place 4 and we see if this will now cool down sufficiently. 2.74. Well, apparently it won't. So unfortunately we're gonna be placing more collation units and try it again. 2.32. 60 divided by 2.32. 0.32 equals to 2.5. 25.8. Calculations. Yes, having a calculator nearby kinda helps with this sort of stuff. Well, apparently this is gonna be, we're gonna have to sacrifice one of the recoil absorbers there. Yeah, 1.96, that's gonna be good enough. Guaranteed good enough. And we can put some hydraulic absorbers there on the other side now. Down 4, yes, and up 4, yes. The reason why I'm not placing it on this side is because I don't think it will be able to rotate if I do that. Oh, actually it can. Well, this is fun. Well, me being a dum-dum, as you can see. As I said, do a lot of testing. You can figure stupid stuff up. Oh well. Downwards. 4-meter downs. 4-meter ups. Yeah, but on a larger guns, you do want to have at least some amount. I mean, as I said before, if the ship is disproportionately large compared to the size of the weaponry, then you don't really need these things, but I still recommend using them. And I'm not gonna build complete turret here. Metal beam, yes. Like that. Just as to test how far will this go. And actually, I'm a dum-dum. Yes, I am the dum-dum. Yay. And that because if you notice, we could place like this is 3x3, so we could place a hydraulic absorber here, and it should not interfere with movement of the actual turret. But I have forgotten that rule a bit and kind of, you know, went full dumb mode. But it does rotate just fine. Alright. This actually looks fairly decent. Alright. The 3x3 rule, hope I remember. If it's 3 blocks wide, you can pretty much put it right next to a wall and it should not have problems rotating. As you may note, no problems rotating, so me doing that twerky stuff on the other side was completely unnecessary. Oh well. Okay, now the test of fire rate should now be just fine. Let's test it. 1, 2. As you can see, fires slightly slower. 3. But it's okay for 5. I'm just waiting so that all of the autoloaders cycle through. And then we're gonna see the reloading, yes, but it jumps out instantly and goes back to gun waiting. When it says gun waiting, it's just waiting for the limit to pass over. So because this is having 27 rounds a minute, it will wait for 2 and slightly bit over 2 seconds before trying to fire the next one, and that's what it says, gun waiting. When it says reloading, as you can see, it's replaced by gun waiting nearby instantly, so we have got it just about right there, I suppose. We could have a bit faster if we tried 28 rounds a minute. It shouldn't be that much of a problem. And this is kind of a pocket battleship, heavy cruiser type weapon, so it doesn't need to be super overpowered, it just needs to deliver some of the extra payload. Well, extra payload. It just needs to be big and it needs to hit kind of hard enough. And I think that, you know, 4-6 guns like this should bypass most of the shielding, even on larger vessels or even on more powerful vessels. Yeah, it's still 28 rounds. That's about the limit of this gun. 10 reloaders, 10 autoloaders with 10 ammo clips. Well, 20 ammo clips and 20 input feeders. Apparently this is gonna work just fine as it is. And this is gonna be pretty much, I mean, this will be the interior working of our gun that we're gonna be placing on our kind of a heavy cruiser, and hopefully it will not go out of size. If we compare that to the season 1, I think we have one. Ooh, which one is it? No, turret of the vehicle 21. No, this is the small one. No. I don't think I'm gonna find it. No. Well, no, we can do this. We can just load in a vehicle 21. That's gonna be working just fine. Which one is it? YouTube, yes. Vehicle 21. If somebody still does not remember. Yeah. Now this thing's the reason why they're so small. Well, it should be self-explanatory, because they're using railguns, and as the end result, as I went with railguns, yeah, I could stuck to a 2-meter autoloaders here, and that actually significantly decreased the size of these guns. And they're still 402mm size, and having the shell velocity of 460 or something. Well, this one has 531, and the gun barrels are much longer, and the interior turret gonna be much bigger. I mean, comparatively to the vehicle 21, you can see now why the vehicle 21 was only in about, what is it, 13,000 in volume. Of course, this was the initial version. Later on, it grew in size quite significantly. But you may note why it was so small. Railguns did help there. Because it's the difference between 2 to having 3-meter ones. While the guns are pretty much approximately of the same size. So yeah, railguns did help us there. But on the other hand, railguns do require batteries, they require RTGs. So yeah. Question, what's more better? Slightly less in the turret interior volume and as the end result the entirety of the ship, or slightly bigger gun, having bigger vessel, but not using any of the expensive material, as this ship is actually, as you can see, 256,000, and our previous vehicle using these guns only was about 150,000 in material cost. Well, I mean, railguns versus regular guns. Yeah. Well, guess this is gonna be it for this video. Kind of, but yeah, next time we will try to build something of a heavy cruiser less than, hopefully, in about 15,000, 17,000 in volume and not going over 20,000, where that would be turning a bit awkward. But it's gonna be a turret of somewhat of like this design, I suppose. So yeah, well, that's gonna be it. See ya!